Hey everybody, I finished assembling all the current Dropzone Commander stuff I have, and it's been a very interesting few days that I've been going over this, been working on this stuff. So let's real quick, let's go over what I have. First I've got a Neptune. The first battle group is my scoring unit. One Neptune with 2 Juno IFVs and 4 bases of Immortals. Second battle group is going to be the 2 Tritons with the 4 Janus Scout Walkers. And the last battle group is going to have 2 separate units, one with 1 Ares and 1 Phobos, and the other unit is going to have 3 Ares and 1 Phobos in 2 different dropships. So altogether this comes to 783 points, which is pretty small, because the points are roughly equivalent to 40k as far as scale of games. And I've already put a lot of money into this, and I only got 800 points, so it's been kind of frustrating because unfortunately I can't really get any more for a while. Let's talk about the models. First of all, the quality of the castings are not where I would have thought they would be, to be honest. There's a lot of voids, there's a lot of air bubbles, and they've been really hard to work on because you can't really file them down, because if you file, they're so small. When you're filing, you have to be so careful that you don't file off detail you don't want to file when trying to do repairs. The biggest pains are these tanks that split down the middle, and you got this nice little mold line down here. I mean, you could, or cast, it's not really a mold line, but it's a joint. So you can either leave it as is, or you can spend a day trying to fill them up. I just use liquid green stuff on all my filling, and it works pretty well for this. I only did the major visible parts because, to be honest, the stuff is so small you're never going to see any of the casting flaws anyway, despite the fact that there's so many of them. So I just kind of got the major stuff right here, like right here in front of the walkers, and around the jet engines on the Neptunes, and obvious flaws like that. But yeah, so there's everything put together. Kind of happy it's all done. This really was quite a bit of work. I was shocked just how hard these models were to work with. The size is a big factor to it. They're small. They're hard to work with. There's a lot of detail in there. You gotta try and get that flashing out. One thing I did note that I thought was really good was, despite the fine detail that they got with this, the resin itself is actually pretty hard, and it files really well. I mean, it doesn't file too easily that you just kind of mush through it, but it works. Everything works pretty well actually when trying to clean these models up. The flight stands I just decided to magnetize instead of using the little widgets they come with. Ever seen? They call them widgets in Hot War games. You're supposed to use these, glue these to the bottom of the model, and then they stick on the shaft from the flight stand. But I decided to use magnets. And there's a lot of magnetizing going on here, or there will be. I had to put in an order to K&J Magnetics to get everything done. But everything will be magnetized to the drop ships eventually. I just didn't have enough magnets to do them all right now. So these kind of... Oops. That's why I need more magnets, because I don't have enough. So everything's going to be magnetized to the drop ships eventually. So they will actually ride into battle on them and then come down. Which is why I'm not going to base... Oops. I'm not going to base the walkers, even though they would look awesome on a 25mm base. That's not one of the magnetized ones. That's why it wasn't staying on there, because it wasn't magnetized. There we go. So that's what they're all going to look like eventually. But if I put bases on them and having terrain and stuff, and they will look kind of funny dangling in there with bases, and to be honest, so that's why I'm not going to do bases on the walkers. I might do some clear flat bases, just so they can stand up better, but that's it. So pretty much that's where we're at with the Dropzone Commander stuff. I'm going to try and find someone to play a game with. eventually, because I know there's quite a few people around here that have some models, but they're gonna have to. But again, 800 points really isn't a big game, so I don't know how it'll turn out. Anyway, that's it. Talk to you guys later.